How do you manage to maintain interesting content for your user audience? Okay. Okay, so this is one thing we're very, very good at. What we do is we don't. Okay, so there's two parts of our model that are important to understand. One, crowd voting. Two, crowdsourcing. So we don't create content, or we do create content, but the vast majority of the content on our network sites is created by our communities. So this isn't an accident. I did a lot of content creation. I did content creation for 10 years at MuggleNet, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I found it to be, it's hard to scale content creation, depending on, especially in the kind of verticals that I'm in. So I love the idea of crowdsourcing. And so what we do is we find content trends that we know our audience will be especially likely to create content for. So the content has to be really, really easy to create, like memes, rage comics, simple stories, reaction gifs, things like that, where everybody can contribute. So that's one key part. Crowdsourcing doesn't work for everybody, obviously, but we make the barrier super, super, super low. For example, if you go to one of our sites, like memestash.com, like a mustache but with memes, you find that like you look at the first page and you see all the pictures on it, and you can actually when you mouse over one of the memes, you could actually start editing it right there on the homepage. So we found that just putting up, like taking the barrier away where people can just start editing right away was huge for getting more people to contribute. So that's how we do crowdsourcing. Eliminate every possible step to getting people to contribute. Every step that you propose that your users should have to do to create content for you, you need to eliminate every one of those steps possible. And if you think you need to add a step, then you better be prepared to defend that to the death, because every step you add will cause a precipitous decline in the amount of people who actually are contributing content. Crowdsourcing and crowd voting. This is a critical component of it. It's not just about like, let's get our audience to create as much of the content as possible. We let our audience curate it and decide what content should go on the homepage. So we tested a lot of different things. We found a brutally simple formula. It worked really, really well, where what we do is we have a voting queue. And on that voting queue, whenever somebody submits, so like you go on a meme stash and you create a meme, it goes into this queue where anybody goes to a certain page. We call it the vote on upcoming page. It's a pretty small percentage of our users, but it's enough. Like 1% of them. They go on that page and they just see all the content that other people contributed, and they either vote yes or no on it. And based on the ratio of yes votes and no votes, after 30 votes, we can tell with some degree of accuracy, with a actually fairly high degree of accuracy, how good the content is and how viral it is. Because the better the content, the more likely it is to go viral, or the more viral growth that it'll experience. So again, 30 votes, yes or no, simple as that. We had to try a lot of other things where we found that. So that's how we make the content interesting and engaging.